Hello everyone, Tango Doflamingo here today, bringing you today Wakfu, whatever you want to call it, Season 3, Episode 4. And guys, you have no idea how long I've been waiting for this to happen. Now, there's a lot I have to go over, and it's a lot. I was hyped this entire episode, and I'm happy that I get to watch this, and I really do like watching this. I should let you guys give this a try. If you looked at my last video with my top 5, I showed it as a recommended. Please watch it because this season is amazing. Please watch it. It's really much worth it. Now let's get into the episode. Now our episode starts off with a... Our episode starts off with Tristepin, or Dali, getting beat up pretty badly. This is a to him being kind of hazed. He's saying, I've never been beat up this bad. Now Rubalax obviously is like, hey dude, you've beaten up people a lot stronger than this. And what we see is the guy who he's facing is the flame guy from the trailer, guy with giant flaming head skull thing, like a miniature Ghost Rider. I'm pretty sure that's where they got their inspiration from. But yeah, Rubalax saying you face stronger, and he really has faced someone stronger, since during the OVA, the Ogrest arc, he fought Ogrest, who is very, very powerful. Like, I barely have time to make a tier list, but I'm pretty sure Ogrest is very much high up there. And Ogrest is very incredibly strong, since he just had the regular Dofus from the World of 12. And it took Dali, who had the power of the Yop God, because he is the Yop God, well, reincarnation of the Yop God, and Yugo using all 6 Heliotrope Dofus to fight Ogrest, and that took a lot. Now, it did take Ogrest into implementing the Wyverns, but they didn't really do much. Ogrest pretty much did a freaking good job wrecking Dali on his own. And it keeps going to where he is saying to himself, oh my god, you really know how to motivate me. And Rubalax reminds him, I love the comedy they do there, saying, by the way, you do realize that we are connected. Remember, he's like, oh crap, I can't. He gets him saying, like, oh, that's great, I can't even think anymore. Like, he's getting frustrated, because you'll see later on when I explain why he's getting so frustrated. And Rubalax sends him to get up, and the flame guy ends up calling him, telling him, oh, come on, daddy, you gotta get up and fight me, or are you not up for the challenge? And so Dali responds saying, hey, it's time for you to go to sleep, yada, 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 yada. And he makes the sword. Because as we remember from, if you remember when you watch my other reviews of episode 2, where he gets Rubalax in the army, tries making that sword, and just this cool little turn arm into sword, gets a sword out of Rubalax, better than the one that he had originally. And what it does is it makes a very long sword. Then the Blaze guy, he gets super excited. He's like, oh my god, that's so cool, I can do it too. And he really reminds me of he reminds you of well, I can't remember the anime, but a kid who gets really hyped about a lot of things that the other person is doing, and he's like, oh my god, I can do that too. And it's like, bam, it's like when you meet people that can do something like you do, and just like, that's awesome. He gets really fanboyed, really excited over seeing that Dali can do that. And when it does, they make a lot of bad jokes. And you have to see the episode where he makes a comment saying, you gotta face facts here, Dali. His bigger, so because his sword is bigger, and you guys know what that means. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, nudge. Kinda messed that up. But yeah, so we go into and when they collide, it goes into a kind of a time backscape, like they go and play in reverse. And we go to when they first enter the room after leaving the room period with that other demigod that turned them into little tiny tofus. But yeah, so they go in there, and Dali they see the guy with flaming hair, well, flaming head and skull face, and he's just sleeping there like, and they're like really serious and totally, and I love that about Wakfu, how you can have a serious moment and you can have like the other characters or the character just not giving. And what happens is they get this whole thing, and Dali and Rubelax are like, "That's Coulthard," and that blew my mind because I was like, "Oh my god!" Because you wouldn't expect. Because I was confused on how that's Coulthard, and they explain saying that this is one of Coulthard's avatars, and his name is Vlad. And the weird thing about this is the fact that this really shows. So they show about what happened when Adamai was fighting Coulthard, how he got the Dofus from Coulthard, and it really showcases how strong Adamai really is, because he didn't have the Dofus, and it looks like he kind of strong armed or beat. I'm gonna say beat because I don't think Coulthard expected Adamai. He might have been holding back because we all know he doesn't really fight seriously. He never does. He always fights with a little bit of restraint. But Coulthard loses to Adamai, and he reverts to Vlad. And Dali even says they made him revert. So I'm guessing if something happens to where Coulthard is unconscious or is made enabled, Vlad will come out and resume control. Now, after that, after he gives the explanation, Vlad, they give a backstory on who Vlad is, and a little bit of backstory on Coulthard's backstory when we see Dali underneath the tree behind the desert that we remember him from in season two when he goes through that whole training arc. And I don't know where this takes place. I can imagine this takes place during the training arc because he's still tan and has that one mark on the side of his cheek. So I mean, this is during or a little bit after the training arc. And what happens is he sees the skulls and he's like, good fight. He's upset. Dali's upset because he imagines that was a family that used to be in this desert because he sees their skulls, and he ends up saying, Coulthard, aren't we a family? Are we family? And Coulthard just straight up says, no, we're not. We're not family at all. And I always wondered why he says this, but it explains it since, by the way, the Yop God is Coulthard's father. And as I told you, Dali is a reincarnation of Coulthard from the Yop God, in case you guys don't know. But what happens is he gives this whole backstory on Vlad, on how this play, this whole thing, which really proves how strong Vlad is, which I can imagine is how strong Coulthard is the fact that he, as he says, that Vlad, the place that used to be a desert used to be a really big thing for, I think it was like a perfume city or a town really good for its looks. And then Vlad comes along, this monster, and it took him he was fueled by pure hatred and despair and rage, and it only took him months, I think it was like 6 months or just months, to destroy everything and kill everyone. So that's the reason that whole thing is a desert and everyone is dead and died. I can imagine this ties into when Dali finds Coulthard the first time when we meet Coulthard, that you're supposed to be dead. And I can imagine it's because people thought he died when he had Vlad out and Vlad killed everyone. But I can imagine that's not the thing. But yeah, he reminces and Coulthard starts to cry because he's remembering everything that he did. And obviously Yops don't cry. Dali's confused and he says, Yops don't cry. If we did, we would hide it. He was crying because he turned around to not face Dali. And it was a really cute moment for them. Now, we go on after that back to the fight, where the fight actually goes and Dali ends up getting to this little spat with Ellie, his daughter, and because she wants to help him fight, but he ends up now what really has me curious is when he tries to knock her out with little Chad, she just says ow, and she's like she tells him that it doesn't work due to the fact that she's gotten older and a little bit more tougher. Now what I really think is this is the godly power that we saw her exhibit in the OVA, the Ogress arc. And it showed how strong she really is, but I really think it's the god power manifesting like it did in episode 1 when they captured her and she got the glow stuff and then bursted out of Pawanda's arm and went to go save her dad. So I think she's aggressively getting stronger. And what I'm seeing throughout even this episode, when we get little bits of Ellie, she is starting to exhibit a little bit more boldness and a little bit more resentment. I feel like at the end of this whole thing, and at the end of this whole tower thing, she is going to originally side with them. Or someone is that isn't Adamite. Now, let me get back on topic, even though Ellie is a big thing that I will touch on later. They sneak past, they do a little fist bump of good luck that they all give to Dally after he says, I'm going to fight him, you guys run past him, and I'll distract him. So they start trying to get the running head start, and Vlad is still sleeping. He's still like, what? And he's like that as he sees him, he's like, oh, I got you. When he wants to go fight him, Dally steps in away saying, no, you won't, and this whole big fight scene starts. And it's very hilarious because Vlad is acting like a kid. But there's a big thing that he says in the beginning of the fight. Right before they're about to fight, what Dally ends up saying, well, they fight a little bit, and then Dally ends up saying, Vlad ends up saying, are you up to the task? And Dally goes on this big speech and this really makes me think that he's starting, I don't know if it's true, because he had the whole background of the first Yop God, making me think that maybe he's starting to remember his past life. Because he walks up there saying, I am the first Yop God, and he gets him to start head-butting him in the head. And when he gets him to because you see Vlad gets hurt and his skull cracks, but his hands are ground, and then Dallas is like, now the real question is, are you ready to fight me? I'm the Yop God, are you ready to fight me? And then Vlad is like, and some of you expect him to get all mad and automatically jump to the fights, like the full fight scene. It doesn't. He gets so happy. It's so hyped. He's like, oh my God, look at what you did. You cracked my skull. Now, I didn't get your whole Yop story. Like, he was like, I didn't get the whole thing. But you walked up to me, arms are like this, and you're like, bam, 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 and like cracked my skull. Like, he was like a child at his first candy store. Or the first time you beat a video game boss, but you see something super impressive. He's like, but he ends up saying that, like, him and Goldtart feel the same thing. Now, what he says to Dally is that, now, little Goldtart here has a lot of feelings about you. He said it was admiration and resentment. Now, as we know, when you resent someone, you're kind of jealous. So he's proud, but jealous of Dally. So that got me confused. I'm like, why would Goldtart be jealous of Dally? He trained Dally. Dally was Goldtart. Goldtart was Dally's master. But he ends up saying in a little bit of hatred. I was like, whoa, hold up. Why would Goldtart be feeling hatred towards Dally? And he explains it saying, it's because you never grew up taking care of him. And the reason why this is the case is Dally is the reincarnation of the Yop God. Is his dad. So Dally is Goldtart's dad. And so when you reincarnate so much after you die, you don't have time to take care of Goldtart, who is your son. And when the Yop God died and Goldtart found Dally as a kid, he theoretically had to raise his own father, which does not give much quality time for this. He even has to train him up, Dally up, so he can be able to give Dally his god powers, because his dad gave them to Goldtart for a bit to eventually give back to Dally. And so when this happens, they're about to get in this really big fight, and this fight is freaking amazing. Like, it's two powerhouses fighting, two Yops going at it, full force, two godly level Yops. Now, people are going to say, I don't get how you call Dally godly because he lost his god powers. Now, I still consider that Dally himself currently is what Goldtart was in the end of season 2, not trying. And Vlad and Dally are going at it. Like, I think Dally's like actually going at it, using his full power, while Vlad is just having the blast of his life. Like, the way he's fighting, the way he fights Dally, and the way when Dally hits him, it's hilarious. And you watch them beat each other up, like they're punching each other in the face at the same time. There's like, you see, like, because it looks like Dally's getting a lot of overhand because Vlad is like a kid at a candy shop, not even caring right now. and because when Dally punches him with Rubelax, because Rubelax is his arm, punches him in the stomach, he's like, oh, like gets punched in the stomach. He gets punched in the stomach, has had his face beat into like the ground, and there's this little thing where he gets pinned up to the he punches Dally into a pillar, and it's okay. So sorry for me explaining this fight scene because the fight scene is everywhere. But the fight scene was wonderful. Like, the way they're fighting is like each other, like yops, like they're enjoying the fight. They even go to the and it's kind of hilarious to watch them block, because it looks like most of the time he is a very big powerhouse. And what really got me during their fight is how strong Vlad. Like, I think Vlad is even holding back because he wants to enjoy the fight. And if you guys watch Bleach, he's like Kenpachi Zaraki. If you read the manga, it's like when Kenpachi Zaraki was fighting Unohana, and Unohana said you're holding back, and it's because Kenpachi wants to enjoy the fight. I think it's the same thing with Vlad. Vlad is slightly holding back because he wants this fight to last. Him, the reason why he ends up punching Dally in the side of his chest, like right here, and it looks like the impact was huge because the way the animators did it, and thank God for these animators. They hit him, and it looked like the force. I was expecting to break the column behind him, because we've been proven that they can do that, hit hard enough to break something behind him, as when Gilby threw Yugo and he cracked a planet in a microverse, and it was amazing. So I was expecting that. So when that happened, I imagined Vlad was holding back is holding back during this fight. And it's really proven that he's holding back the entire fight because he just wants to enjoy himself. But after that, this completely shifts on itself to where Vlad's just wrecking Dally, like beating him very badly, punching him through the pillars. Matter of fact, when a pillar falls on Vlad, Vlad proceeds to pick it up and use it as a weapon on Dally and hits him with it. And what happens is during this fight, he keeps punching it, and he tries blocking with Rubelax as the sword, because he forms the sword and he's trying to block with Rubelax, and it's not working. And when he hits him, Rubelax has to turn into a shield to absorb most of the impact, and it's really hurting Rubelax. Remember, they're the same person, so he feels whatever is hitting him. So what happens is we cut back to where we originally are, where he's telling Dally to get up. And this is a big thing where Rubelax says, when he says, get up, aren't you a yop? And he says, well, and Rubelax is just saying, well, no, you're not a yop. And Dally's like, what do you mean? And Rubelax clarifies, saying, you're not the yop you used to be, because you used to enjoy yourself during a fight. You used to enjoy being in the thrill of the moment during the fight. He says, look at Vlad, he's enjoying himself. He says, and this is true, he says, you're pulling back your punches. You don't want to get hit because you're scared you won't see your family again. You're scared. He's technically telling Dally that he is scared that if he takes most of these hits, if he act like his old self who would just rush into a fight, not concerning about his own life, he won't be able to see your family again, and his family will be left without someone to help them. It's the same thing during the Ogress thing, how he almost lost his arm, which I think is a really big impact for him, that he could have died and his family would have been left alone. So that's what he doesn't want again. And Rubelax says that you got to change your mindset if you want to beat him. You have to go back to at least being the old Dally, to just go in there, fight with all your might. But Dally does make a wonderful statement, which is a good point and a good thing for life. So keep these words at heart. If you've watched the episode, you remember these words perfectly. He says, Rubelax, you're wrong. He says, the fact that I'm fighting for my family is kind of making, is just as much as if I was just fighting to be carefree. Because the thing about this is, you will always put more into yourself. You will always have more power. And it's proven that when you are fighting to protect something, when you fight to protect something that you love, when you fight to protect something that is yours, that you cherish with all your might, that's more strength than you will ever have just going in there fighting because you just want to fight. Fighting a person who fights for something he has to protect has more power than one that fights and has nothing to lose. This goes to the point of there have been past events where a mother whose child was trapped in the car had enough strength to lift the car. She had something to protect, so it drew more strength out of her. And the reason why I say you never incur a mother's wrath. And you do anything to protect what you love and what you care for. So what he does is, we go to the point where Vlad calls him dad and everything, as we know why now. He forms the sword, and it's happening. It goes through the big, like, wonderful clash between them when it comes to their blades. Vlad's beautiful looking flame blade, which looks freaking amazing because it's form of Goltar's old broken blade. And this fight, their power these two are exerting, the power that they're using, the shockwaves themselves are breaking the pillars that are keeping part of the tower up and is physically breaking the room and destroying the room. Each shockwave you're seeing is shaking this part of the pillar, cracking everything and affecting the other floors. Like the floor below them is getting these rubbles and she's all confused. And what this clash ends with is he deforms the sword. And this one, I know Dahlia's getting smarter as the series goes on, because he used his head to grab Vlad by the head when Vlad thought he was about to use the sword slash, and flip. He uses his hand because he can increase the size of Rubelak's, the arm part, and uses it to grab Vlad, flip him over, and smash his head into one of the pillars, the only remaining pillar standing. And when he does this, he knocks Vlad out. Vlad reverts back to Goltart. That's why I think if one is enabled, the other one will come out. Now, with Goltart's, now also by the thing about, okay, so the thing about Goltart, by the whole, you're wondering how the Yop got, let me get that later, but Goltart reverts back, and I really think I honestly think Goltart is going to die this season. Because this was the biggest foreshadow, or he might die in the next episode, where Goltart's fading into fire, like the fire of Vlad, it's blue, so it's calming, and he thanks Dahlia for helping him. And Dahlia replies with, "It's okay, son." Because he realized he has the responsibility now to make things right with Goltart, because that is theoretically his son. So he's going to try and make amends with Goltart to make him not feel that hatred. Because I really think that a little bit of hatred thing kind of got to him. So he's going to try and be a better father to Goltart. And we see, he also says, "I wish you wouldn't have done it." He said, "What broke in the last pillar?" As the rubble and everything is falling, the tower collapses on them, or believed to collapse on them. And they do this really laugh thing, like they laugh as the thing is falling together. And I really found that really monumental for the fact that the whole series, the whole time we've seen these two together, it's been a big, like, Goltart being the father figure and Dahlia being mom. When really it's Goltart having to take this responsibility, but losing his father, and Dahlia is now trying to take the responsibility of being the father that Goltart needs and being a father to Goltart. And it's and it's very wonderful. This episode was very beautiful. Now let me talk on the part with Ellie or Layla. Like I said, I really have a think that she's going to go to the other side. She is going to take the side of people on the tower. And I'll be honest, I'm only saying this because if I rethink my thing correctly, she's not shown in the opening trailer like Evangeline and Floppy are. So I really think she is going to join the tower in this season. After her conviction is probably going to be broken. She says she wouldn't betray her dad, but she might. And you can see this because she loses faith in her dad the moment she enters the room and hears all the boom. And out of this entire time, like the rest of the time, she's been like, my dad's a former god, my dad's a former god this, my dad's a former god that. Having really good pride in her dad, even in the whole episode. I think this whole season is going to be a big thing with Ellie and Dahlia. Is how the last two, the last season 2 was Yugo's season. I'll be honest, season 2 was Yugo's season. Season 1 was Amelia's season. This season is for Dahlia. This season is for Dahlia. For Tristepin. For Tristepin of Persidal. And Ooh, what do I say even about this? The fact that we get the glimpse of the weird owl dude and Adamai and the weird chick from the Ogress arc um, really shows that this is serious. Adamai is with the bad guys. I don't have a theory to defend him. No, he's with the bad guys. And the fight with Yugo and Adamai is going to be a heartbreaking fight for Yugo. Now back to Elay. She loses faith in her dad once, not faith, but is kind of worried about her dad of this fight, saying, "Is this noise my father's?" Rule this little comedy saying, "Any noise is your father." And Yugo ends up saying, "Don't worry, Dali's going to be fine." And Ellie replies with, "I don't know, my dad isn't a god anymore, so I don't think he's going to win." And Amali replies that he's going to win. If you're with us, you have to trust in trust in each other. So I get that the people would take from this saying she's going to try and grow with the team and that she's going to learn to trust her dad more. But I really don't think Ellie is going to be able to trust her dad or more or less have faith in him as a god or think he's going to be worthy as a god. So he's not acting... He's... sorry again. Not going to be able to have the convictions of a Yop god. And that means Ellie's going to want to replace him, saying she's worthy. That's how I think that's going to go. That's my theory, that Ellie is going to want to take the position of Yop god because she'll think her dad isn't worthy because he isn't acting like a Yop that he has taught her to be and what a Yop is. So I really think that that's what's going to be down with Elay. Now, for everyone else, I really think that the owl dude is going to try and turn Yugo to their side, because Adamai is obviously going to replace the previous dragon god, which we remember from season 2, because there were two. There's the Heliotrope goddess and the Heliotrope god. I can imagine that he's going to try and keep Yugo as the Heliotrope god. So that's my theory involving that. With Amelia, I don't think I really have a solid theory for her yet. It's like her dad is going to die. This is a very, deeply heavy season on each character's individual tragedies that they're going to experience. I really think this is going to be a tragedy-type season. Now, if I had to say something about this episode, I'd rate this episode, 9 out of 10. I'm not acting as hype as I normally would, because I had the hype yesterday, but I didn't feel like putting out a video. I'm so sorry, guys. I haven't put out a video lately, and I'm not going to give you guys an excuse about why I haven't put out a video. But all I can say is, I'm sorry. Hope you can forgive me. And yeah, this if I just say my one gripe about the episode is the lack of dialogue, really. I know I'm not a big thing on dialogue, that's why I'm still giving it a 9 out of 10. But I really wish we could have at least gotten Yugo and them started on the other room and still gotten some of the fight. But I guess that's what they're saving for the next episode. So, I want to tell you guys thank you for your support for this channel. Like if you want more. Comment if you think there's any improvements I can make, what you think of the series. If you've liked the series, please tell me. Share this to your friends that you think watch Wakfu. Heck, go on Tumblr and tell people about that you have a friend that YouTube's Wakfu. There's a shit ton of people on Tumblr. Just say it. My friend Tango Del Flamingo reviews Wakfu. They'll love it. And subscribe. We're almost at that 20 mark, guys. We're too close. We're too close to that 20 subscriber mark. 5 more people. This channel started with 0 and we're at 15. We can do this, my pirates. We can do this. We can do it. Just do it. Just do it. But, yeah. And lastly, share this to your friends. Share this to your family. Tell them about me. You got a friend who likes anime. Tell them about me. You got a cousin who likes anime. You got a 50th cousin. You got that stranger across the street that you know watch anime. Tell him, hey, there's this guy right here who likes reviewing anime, other shows, have a discussion. Tell him to comment to me what his favorite anime or something, and I'll review that crap to death. I'm going to end up reviewing why you should watch Yu-Gi-Oh!, DBZ, Howl's Moving Castle, any of these anime-related topics. So please, hope you guys have an awesome day. Be safe, my pirates. Love y'all.